offs use lane 2, ons lane 1.
Long distance running, falling short.
When Title IX happened, they just kind of put that male sports culture on top of girls' sports.
Decades after door-opening legislation got more girls in the game, a society getting up to speed with the detrimental effects of the sports system. The sports environments we fought so hard to have equal access to were built by men, for men, and boys. We fold and smash women and girls into male-based infrastructure and then scratch our heads when the same friction points show up again and again.
Professional female athlete.
It's what Lauren Fleshman, Bendite and one of the world's most decorated distance runners, writes about in her memoir, Good for a Girl, a woman running in a man's world.
It's just like the Wild West out there still.
Eating disorders, menstrual dysfunction, a lack of understanding of the female body, especially during the menstrual years, all too prominent in women's sports.
On observations.
At a book reading, Lauren explains a motivation for the PART manifesto.
When I think about my kids being good at a sport or putting themselves into a sport that has an emphasis on leanness, I'm scared too.
The sport she loves, that brought her joy, prestige, her family. She also fears.
It gave me so much, but it also created a lot of harm.
While Title IX got women on the start line, the decades since have shown severe shortfalls.
We've come so far in terms of girls and women in sports. Now we need to maybe rethink a little bit about the model that we have and to best serve those girls and women that we're coaching.
Charlotte Lettuce Richardson is the head distance coach at Caldera High.
The way I used to coach, 25, 30, 40 years ago has changed so much. We're thinking more about coaching the whole athlete.
Charlotte's holistic approach accounts for what the Nixon-era legislation didn't address: puberty. Around high school age, boys will get bigger, faster, stronger. As Lauren puts it, in training, males get more juice out of every squeeze. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, girls do not get this same rapid growth in muscle power.
A lot of young girls, they're successful early on and then all of a sudden they're not.
Instead, they grow hips and breasts, gain weight, and start their periods. Crucial development not only for long-term success in sport, but also for lifelong health. Many young girls try to fight it, turning to disordered eating to keep the weight off.
And in first place.
Ask nearly any runner. They'll have a story of a teammate or themselves. Lauren has both. The girl across from me was using the other tongs to fill her entire plate with only lettuce. She drizzled a thin zigzag of fat-free Italian dressing with careful precision, as if an alarm might go off if she drew outside the lines. Another girl waiting for her had only lettuce and a chicken breast, no dressing at all. The weight loss can have short-term benefits, making athletes temporarily faster, but it often comes with period loss. That should sound the alarms for coaches and competitors.
Friday's practice.
Yet, as Lauren writes, they're incentivized to ignore it because the greatest rewards go to those who are at their best in their junior or senior years. When periods stop, bone health falters, a repercussion girls often don't understand.
When you lose your period, young people are like, oh great, that inconvenience is gone. I don't need babies anyway, whatever, I'll deal with that later.
Later can be too late. The teen years are essential for bone building. By the time women reach 20, they'll have acquired about 90% of their total bone mass. Weaker bones means greater chance of injury.
Having the courage.
Lauren's battle with disordered eating in her early 20s cost her a shot at the Olympics. A bone injury sidelining her ahead of the trials. I had blown it. I thought I needed to get light when I really needed to get strong. What are the dangers long-term for these girls?
It's bone health, it's the physical, it's the mental, it's reproductive health.
The Cleveland Clinic says period loss, or amenorrhea, not only puts girls at risk of irreversible bone damage, but also cardiovascular disease due to lack of estrogen and challenges getting pregnant or infertility.
When you have your period, your testosterone...
These consequences, part of the reason Charlotte and Helene Hutchinson, volunteer coach at Caldera, helped found the Women Running Coaches Collective, or WRCC.
We also want to be a resource for all coaches, male and female, that coach female athletes.
It's about understanding the developmental differences, especially during the most formative years.
It doesn't mean that, girls and women aren't as competitive or can't be as great athletes, but it means that they have to be coached differently.
Coaches cannot look the other way, especially when it comes to unhealthy weight loss.
What role does the coach have in helping make sure that their athletes are aware of this and stopping it if they sense that it's starting?
I think it's really important that that coaches help address it head on.
Summit High head distance coach Carrie Strang says education is key.
We have a pretty transparent process within the team. We talk about nutrition a lot.
Adding the coaches also need to ask for help.
Knowing when to refer out when it's outside of your area of expertise.
One way to guide these young girls, help them take the changes in stride.
Nice.
Ensuring they know the puberty plateau pays off. Women often experience peak performance in their late 20s. These laps on the track are merely the beginning.
Now it's more about how we're going to keep this whole person healthy.
The starting line of what for many, like Charlotte, Helene, Carrie, and Lauren, becomes a love worth fighting for. Genevieve Rayome, Central Oregon Daily News.